before I get into this video, I want to let you guys know that YouTube is not all about the money. Okay, I know it's easy to think that when you see all of these bigger YouTubers living extravagant lifestyles, but don't be fooled. Okay, YouTube is a lot of work, and those people put in a lot of work and a lot of time to get to where they are. Okay, YouTube is not hard work, but it's very time consuming and it's very mentally taxing. You know, studying the field, thinking of video ideas, it can get draining. It can get draining. So understand that, you know, you can't do YouTube just for money. You can't just start up a channel and expect to get bands off rip. Okay, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't really know about. Only do YouTube if you actually like doing YouTube, if you actually want to help people out. That's the secret. You know, when you help people out, that's where the money comes from, no matter what you do. So just keep that in mind as you watch this video, because I know that some people are probably going to watch this video and want to start their channels up immediately after. Okay, now with that being said, I'm not making a crazy amount of money, but I am making a pretty decent income for myself at this point in time. And I'm extremely thankful for it. You know, I'm extremely thankful. I worked very hard, but all of that hard work would mean nothing without the support of all of my subscribers. So, you know, if you are a supporter of this channel, I genuinely appreciate you, and I want you to know that. And that's a big part of the reason why I'm making this video, is because I want to show you guys just how much you've changed my life. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about how YouTubers make money first. Now, I have made a video on this in the past, and I went very in depth in that video. So, you know, you can go ahead and watch that video if you want the detailed analysis, but I'm just going to touch on how we make our money first. So the main way that we make our money is through ads, okay, through advertisements. So when you watch an ad, you are putting money into our pockets from the pockets of these corporations, you know, the advertisers. So I know you're probably wondering how much these advertisers pay. And the answer is, it depends. It depends on your specific channel, your content type, how many subscribers you have, what your engagement is like, you know, the time of the year, a lot of different things. But generally speaking, the amount of money that the advertisers pay to put their ads on your channel is calculated in your CPM. Okay, your CPM is the amount of money you make per 1,000 views of an advertisement. So for example, if I get 1,000 views on a video, I'm very likely to get anywhere from $5 to $7 for that 1,000 views. Now I know that doesn't really seem like a lot, but as the views stack up, considering that you have older videos that are still getting views, it's very easy to accumulate money very rapidly. Like I said, I made a video in the past where I go really in depth on that whole thing, so you can go ahead and watch that if you want to, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into how much YouTube pays me. So I'm gonna go month by month. Okay, I'm gonna go month by month because I want you guys to see the progression on how much YouTube has paid me each and every month. And I don't really remember how many subscribers I had at each point, but I do know that this first month that I got monetized, the month of June, I made $117.04, which that's not a lot of money. Okay, that is not a lot of money to make for an entire month. But you have to understand that the previous month before that, I didn't make any money. Okay, I quit my job back in March, and I'm going to touch on that story later on in the video. You know, I'm going to give you a whole little motivational speech. But that $117 right there was when I realized that I am officially a YouTuber. I am making enough to break even. At $117 in a month, I make enough to cover my monthly expenses so that I won't have to work at another job and I can focus on YouTube full time. And that's all I need. All I need is that little break, that window of opportunity to where I can really fully apply myself without having to worry about working at a job that drains my energy. And that first month's income, that was that break. That was that window of opportunity that I needed. That $117 right there. Like I said, that doesn't seem like a lot of money, but to me, I felt like I was rich. That $117 was worth way more to me than any amount of money I made at any job in the past. Now, in the video that I mentioned earlier, I did show that first month, but that was the last time that I told you guys how much I made. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the next month, which was July. So for the month of July, I made $274.69. Now, this is still not a lot of money. You know, if you're an adult, if you're 20 years old and up, that's probably not a lot of money to you for a whole month. But like I said, I just needed that window of opportunity. So, you know, this is more than double the income that I made the previous month. Okay, so at this point, I'm thinking, wow, so now I can cover my monthly expenses and also start building up some savings. And that right there, that is when I realized I'm going to make a lot of money on YouTube. Okay, at some point or another, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but at some point or another, I'm going to be making enough to where I can live very, very comfortably. Okay, so $274. Like I said, that is not a lot of money depending on who you are. But I'm sure if I offered any of you $274 right now, you would probably take it. Especially if you got that money from doing something that you love to do. So, you know, $274.69 for the month of July. Now, the next month, August, I made $535.19. Okay, now, with this money right here, $535.19, that is about how much I was making in a month from most of my previous jobs. Okay, in the past, I was probably making roughly $300 per check, which was bi-weekly, so around $600 a month. At $535.19, I'm pretty much where I was when I was working. So now I'm making just as much as I was when I was working at a regular job, except I hated those jobs and I love doing YouTube. So now, you know, this is when I realized that the risks that I took in quitting my job, it paid off because now I'm making that same amount of money. And not to mention that my income pretty much doubled. You know, it pretty much doubled from the previous month. So now I'm noticing a trend. My income is jumping every single month. You know, $535. That is, like I said, still not a lot of money for an adult. It's still not a lot of money for an adult, especially if, you know, you're trying to live on your own or something like that. But me, you know, fortunately, I live with my parents and I don't really have too many expenses that I have to pay. So now I can build my savings up even more and actually have money that I can spend. You know, I can take this money and go out to eat. I can go buy clothes. I can do the things that I want to do. You know, I'm not living bummy anymore. I'm not just surviving at this point. Now, the next month, the month of September, I made $751.10. Now, this right here, this was pretty much closer to the higher end of what I would have made working at any of my old jobs. And this is like, you know, holiday pay, working crazy hours, working 10-hour shifts, working doubles, things like that. You know, from all of my old jobs, 751, that's getting close to the pinnacle of what I ever made in a single month. Okay, at any of my old jobs, I want to say that the maximum I ever made was about $1,000 in a month. So 751, I'm quickly approaching that, and now I'm making more than I was at my old jobs on average. Now, like I said, I don't really remember how many subscribers I had during each month. The only one that I really remember was the month of October, which I'm about to get into that one because October was my golden month. But, you know, $751 for a month, that's doing pretty good. I'm solid at this point. You know, I'm making more money. I have more financial freedom. I'm building up my savings, you know, that cushion of money. So, you know, I'm doing pretty good at this point. You know, at this point, I'm feeling myself. $751, I'm feeling myself. And I remember at the beginning of that month, I was on the phone with my friend and I told him I want to make $700 this month. And for a while, I didn't think I was going to do it. But at the end, I just got this major surge and I ended up at $751. So, you know, that right there, that was like, wow, like I am making this money pretty quickly, you know. Like I said, this isn't a lot, but for me, it's a lot. For me, this is a lot. Now, the next month, October, like I said, was my golden month. I made $2,204.80. Okay, $2,000, $2,200. Now, mind you, a few months before this, I just made $117. Now I'm already making $2,200. This is major for me, okay? Now, most of this was probably within the first 2 weeks of the month. I made about $1,500 in the first 2 weeks. At that point, I was tripping out. Okay, I was tripping out. $1,500 in 2 weeks. The most money I ever made at any job in a month was, like I said, about $1,000. And that was working like probably 30-hour work weeks with holiday pay and, picking up a few extra shifts along the way. And I just made $1,500 on YouTube within 2 weeks. Okay, so now I'm thinking like, man, like this is real. This is real. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that most YouTubers my size do not make $2,000 in a month. Okay, I am a bit of an outlier in that I make a lot more money than most YouTubers my size. And the reason why is because I post a lot more often. I post 6 times a week. I'm posting 6 videos a week. All of them are 8 minutes or longer, and I'm putting multiple mid-roll ads in them. You've probably already watched a few of these ads in this video. So, I am making a lot more money than most people. In fact, I did research on some bigger YouTubers, maybe around 200,000 subscribers, and they were making around $2,000 a month. So for me to make this from, 10,000 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers, that's how much my channel grew in the month of October. For me to make that much money with, that subscriber base, that's major. Okay, that's major for me. Now, a lot of that money came from my workout video. I don't know off the top of my head how much I made with that video, but I want to say it was around $950 for one single video. Okay, one video made me almost half of my income for the month. And that's the thing about YouTube. You never really know which videos are going to pay your rent. You might have one video that pays your rent for the whole year. You never know. So $2,000, that right there, that's how much I made this last month. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that all of this money that you see right here, this is pre-tax income. Okay, that's the thing about YouTube. That is the one downside, is that this is pre-tax income. So I'm saving 75% of my AdSense revenue so that whenever tax time comes around, I'll know that I have enough to pay my taxes, because you don't want to take this money and spend it and not have enough to pay your taxes, or you're going to find yourself in jail. So, I'm expecting to lose probably around 25% of this, 25 to 27% of this money. But at the same time, I do have things I can write off. Now, if you don't know what a tax write-off is, basically, if you have any type of business expense, for example, the camera that I'm filming this video with, I paid about $500 for this camera. That's a write-off. I can put that negative $500 towards the money that I made and lower my taxable income by that amount. Therefore, I'm paying less in taxes, because of course it wouldn't really make sense to charge me taxes on the full amount if I had to spend $500 to get that money. Without spending that $500, I would not have made this much. Now, I want to say I've invested around $3,000 in equipment and software. So, I really won't have to pay taxes on a lot of the money that I made, simply because I invested so much to make that much money. Like I said, I quit my job back in March of 2020. I had $621.32, I believe, to my name. And, I'm already making more than I was at that job. So I want this to be a lesson to you guys, to take a chance on yourself. Okay, bet on yourself. People might call you stupid. People might say you don't know what you're talking about. People might think that you're throwing your life away. But those people don't have your vision. They don't have your vision because your vision is meant for you. So, if I had listened to all the people that told me not to quit my job, I would not be making money on YouTube right now. Guaranteed. I would definitely not be making $2,000 in a single month on YouTube. So take a chance on yourself. Take a chance on yourself. I'm not telling you that you need to start a YouTube channel. I'm not telling you that you need to drop out of school or quit your job or whatever. But follow your intuition. If you feel like you're meant for more, then chase that. Follow that. Because life is too short to live with regret. To always wonder what would have happened if you had followed that gut instinct, if you had chased your dreams.